Here are the supplies you need for this class. We will be dyeing silk. I recommend starting with machine-hemmed Habotai scarves. I buy the same silk by the yard for color swatches and practice pieces. I get all my silk from Dharma Trading. These dyes are meant for silk, so they do their best on this fabric. I don't recommend using them on cotton. You need to make sure your work surface is protected. I like to use medium to heavyweight plastic sheeting that can be purchased in the paint section of big box and hardware stores. If you use a thin plastic tablecloth, you'll have trouble manipulating the fabric because the thin plastic will want to move with the fabric. I use this sheeting on all my work tables in my studio for all of my dyeing. It protects the tables and also is easy to clean up. I've been using nitrile gloves for years now for all of my dyeing. I also provide them to my students in my classes. I like how they fit like a second skin. You can find them in the pharmacy section of big box grocery stores and online. We will be using color hue dyes for this class. They are instant set that were made specifically for dyeing silk. I recommend buying the 10 color set to start out. These are 0.5 ounce bottles of 10 different colors. These dyes are concentrated, so even though the bottles are small, they go a long way when we add water. You can purchase them from Dharma Trading or silksdye.com. If you buy from Silks Dye, let Marlene know I sent you. Since the dye is mixed with water, we need bottles for the diluted dye. I have used a variety of different bottles, but my favorite are the 2 ounce natural squeeze bottle plastic plus Yorker twist cap set of 12 I found on Amazon. I like to use distilled water that I buy at the grocery store to mix the dyes. You don't have to. You can use tap if you like. I use clear plastic cups to dilute the dye that will be put into the plastic bottles, but I also use these cups for mixing colors. Even though they are disposable, I rinse them out and use them over and over again. I like to use 1-inch foam brushes to spread the dye over the silk. You can get these at craft stores, but I found my favorite are made by Jen, it's Jen, Manufacturing, and purchased on Amazon. I purchased them in lots of 48 for my classes. These brushes seem to last longer than ones I used to buy at the craft store. Towels are needed to clean up messes, but they also dry the scarves after dyeing. Any old towels will work. However, I recently purchased some cheap cotton towels for my students to use in my classes. But again, any old towel will work. You will need an iron, an ironing board, and a cloth to cover the ironing board. We are ironing these scarves when they are still damp, so some of the loose dye may come off on the cloth. That cloth will keep your dye off of your ironing board cover. Additional supplies are gel pens and a piece of cardboard. We'll be using that for signing the scarves after they're finished. Spray bottle with water, rubber bands, and clothespins. So now that we've got all our supplies, let's get started.